Good morning, this is Kamera again. We're on day number 136, 2 Chronicles, chapter 21 through 24. Jehoshaphat is no longer king. His son, his oldest son, Jehoram, is now king. Jehoram, once he was established, remember, Jehoram was the oldest son of Jehoshaphat, and he was the one who was married to Ahab's daughter, the king of Israel. Remember, there was an alliance made between Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, and Ahab, king of Israel. Their children married. And so once Jehoshaphat was out the picture, of course, Jehoram is king, but he was an evil king. He did all those detestable things that the Israel king followed. This dude here killed it. Okay, Jehoshaphat set up all his sons where they had their own little towns. He gave them like jewels and gold and silver. He set them up. This dude, Jehoram, the oldest son, killed all of Jehoshaphat's sons. He killed all his brothers. And he killed some of Judah's leaders. Edom revolted against him at that point, and they got their own king. Libnah also revolted against Jehoram. Yeah, he was a wicked king, and the prophet Elijah sent him a letter and let him know that he was not pleased. He didn't follow the examples of his father Jehoshaphat, neither his grandfather Asa, and that he was going to, that bad things was about to happen to him, his sons, his children, his wives, to his people. Bad things was going to happen. This boy led the children of Israel to follow after other gods as well. And so he told Elijah also told him that he was going to die of an intestinal disease, and it was going to take years, but he would never recover. And so, yeah, the marauders came and took his sons, except for one son. Remember, the lineage of David must continue. So one of them was not taken. All the other ones, all his of Jehoram's sons were killed. His wives were taken, and yeah, this dude, he was not good. I mean, he built pagan goddess and shrines, and this dude, I mean, you would think that because his father was a holy man and his grandfather was a holy man, that would be okay that would be a good influence on him, but it wasn't. It wasn't. And so he died of an intestinal disease, and he was in great pain when he died, and lasted for like 2 years. And he died of those wounds. Isn't that something? So then his son Azariah became king after him. This dude was wicked as well. He listened to his mother and people, which was the Ahab people, the Israelites. And yeah, he was a wicked king as well. And he was influenced by his mama Athaliah, that lady there, right? And what's interesting about the way Azariah, he only reigned for 1 year. What's interesting about Azariah's death is, remember back when we read about Jehu killing off of Ahab's his families? Well, Azariah happened to be around at that time, and it says that he was traveling with his families, and we remember that part, right? And Jehu killed him. Jehu killed Azariah because he was one of the ones when God sent Jehu to kill off all of Ahab's family. And this is the thing. Yeah, Azariah was part of Ahab's family. In fact, he was going there to visit, his cousin. But yeah, he got killed in the midst of that. But he was only living for 1 year. But get this. He was only ruled for 1 year. But get this. His mother, Athaliah, when she heard that her son was killed, she killed the entire royal family. Only one person survived, and that's because Azariah's sister took and hid him. She hid him in the temple of God. But this is the thing, though. What was cool about that is I didn't know that sister was the wife of Jehoiada. I did not know that, Jehoiada the priest. And so she took Joash and she hid him in the temple. He was an infant when she hid him, and hid him for 6 years. And Athaliah became ruler at that point, and she ruled the people. She was a wicked little something. Isn't it something? That's the only time we read where a female in Judah led the people, and she was a wicked king. Not king. She was a wicked person. And so, what's cool about Jehoiada was a man of God. He was a priest, and I didn't know that it was his wife who was a relative who took and took him to Jehoiada. Yeah, her name was Jeshoba or Jeshoba. That was pretty cool. That Josheba, and so during the 7th year that Athaliah ruled is when Jehoiada came up with this plan. He built a pact with the commanders of Judah and about 5 commanders of Judah and the Levites, and he came up with a plan. This is stuff, guys, what movies are made of. I kid you not so much. It's like I was on pins and needles listening to the plan that Jehoiada had put in place to place Joash in position as king. You guys have to read it. I'm not going to even go through it. There's some drama in that, right? And so, it happens where they crown Joash as king. Athaliah's in palace and like treason. When she heard all this noise, the music, the reciting of "Long Live the King," she looks down. She see this kid that's crowned as king, and she's like, treason. Jehoiada was like, take that woman and to the temple. Well, actually, take her and kill her. Stuff that movies are made of. I'm telling you guys, that was awesome. You got to read that. And so, so now Joash, 7 years old, king of Judah. And Jehoiada, the priest, is the one who basically nurtured him and taught him and led him and advised him and told him how to lead. And they made this covenant with God, him and the people. First of all, the people were happy that Athaliah was gone. They were so happy. And so they had no problem with following Jehoiada, and he put everything back in place with the temple, had the people to, the Levites get back in position, do the things they were doing. When Joash got older, Joash had an idea, let's restore the temple to its original design, and they did that. They took offerings, they did the taxes that they had before, and that they were supposed to give to the Lord. They gave that. That Moses put in place. I mean, they were on point. There was peace. Everything was good until Jehoiada died. Joash followed God until Jehoiada died. Jehoiada. Now, this is something we haven't heard in a long time. Jehoiada lived to be 130 years old, and he was buried with the kings of Judah because of everything that he had done for Judah. Isn't that something? And so once Jehoiada died, Joash, the leaders of Judah came to Joash and influenced him to stop with the temple business. Let's stop serving the Lord. And let's start with the serving idols. And he followed their advice. Yes, he did. He followed the advice. God sent prophets. The people wouldn't change. Everyone, they just started just that easily. I mean, it's like, come on, you guys. So the Spirit of God fell on Jehoiada's son, Zechariah, right? And said, don't you guys want to continue prospering? Turn away from this wickedness. How did they repay Jehoiada? They killed Zechariah. They killed Jehoiada's son. Isn't that something? You guys were under the leadership of Athaliah. You guys see how things have changed. Things have gotten better. And you do that, Joash. Jehoiada was like your father. And you killed your brother, basically, Zechariah. They stoned him to death. And that's just, to me, that was just horrible. I mean, that was really a sad thing to happen. I can't believe that Joash would do that. He was 7 years old. He became king, all because the man of God was there. God was there with him, and raised him to know the Lord. There was no excuse for Joash turning on God like he did, and turning on Jehoiada like he did. And he reigned for 40 years, and he was faithful until Jehoiada died, and they stoned him to death, and that's terrible. The Arameans, they attacked the children of Judah. There were a small amount of people. The word said that Arameans had a small army, and they mutilated the huge army of Judah. And so, yeah, they killed the leaders of Judah, which we don't feel bad about, right? And they wounded Joash. And while in his bed, you had Joash people kill him, and they killed him because of what he had done to Zechariah. Yeah. His own officials, they killed him because of what they had. They killed King Joash because of what he had, the way he treated Zechariah, having him stone Jehoiada's son. So, guys, movies are made of this stuff. This is real life, though, and there's something to be learned about this. Now, again, I say, seek God for understanding. Help him to Lord, how do I apply this in my life? Where do I fit into this? Yeah. Guys, but that was day number 136, 2 Chronicles chapter 21 through 24. You guys have a God-filled blessed day.